12-year-old ballet dancer Abigail is kidnapped after a rehearsal. 3 intruders, enabled by a hacked security system, enter her home and sedate her. The kidnappers then transport her to an old mansion. Lambert welcomes a kidnapping crew of 6 members, each using a code name instead of their real names: Frank, Joey, Dean, Peter, Sammy, and Rickles. Lambert confiscates their phones to maintain confidentiality and assures them the hardest part is complete. They only need to watch Abigail, who is already secured. Joey asks about Abigail's father. Lambert, a wealthy man facing a $50 million loss, promises each member $7 million after a ransom is paid, allowing them to depart. He leaves after making this offer. Later, most members drink, while Joey plans to leave for her son. Dean speculates about their past, prompting a wager on Joey's ability to guess their backstories correctly. Joey correctly identified Frank as a police officer, Peter as a Quebec mafia enforcer, and Sammy as a wealthy criminal. Frank correctly identified Joey as a former drug addict. This revelation made Joey nervous, leading him to check on a distressed Abigail. Abigail's handcuffs were loosened by Joey after Abigail complained of hand pain. Joey, who also has a son of similar age, reassured the terrified Abigail that she would be safe if she cooperated and her father paid the ransom. A pinky promise of safety was made. A little girl tells Joey her father doesn't care about her and apologizes for what will happen. Joey, frightened, informs Frank, who claims ignorance of the girl's father. Discovering Abigail's blindfold is off, Frank threatens her with a gun, demanding to know if she saw his face. After initially denying it, Abigail reveals her father's name is Christophe Lazare. Frank reveals their kidnapped victim is Christophe Lazare's daughter, causing panic. Joey proposes an anonymous call and leaving, but Frank fears Abigail's recognition. Frank suggests murder, but the group opts to continue due to the $7 million reward. Later, Dean explores the house and discovers a dark room. Several vintage pictures, one resembling Abigail, are found. Dean explores the basement where a door opens mysteriously, pulling him inside despite his attempts to escape. Sammy later discovers Dean dead, his head severed, leading to panic calls for help from the others. Joey mentioned Valdez, Lazare's hitman known for decapitation. 3 top gang members, held in a secure New York hotel before trial, were found dead with their heads and organs missing. The room was only accessible via a door and a window on the 23rd floor. Abigail remains in the room while a panicked group checks on her. Rickles tries to leave but finds a barred door, and their attempts to escape trigger a security system, locking them inside. Joey questioned Abigail about visitors, specifically excluding Frank. Abigail initially denied anyone else visited, but then claimed a man with glasses, who she falsely identified as her father's employee Valdez, threatened her. Joey confronted Frank, but discovered Rickles brutally injured and dying. Joey subsequently accused Frank of being Valdez and killing 2 people based on Abigail's statements. Frank, believing Abigail is manipulating them, orders Peter to kill her. Peter shoots Abigail, but Joe intervenes. A subsequent argument ensues regarding Abigail's fate. Sammy observes Abigail removing her handcuffs before her transformation into a vampire and subsequent attack. Frank shoots Abigail, but she revives and continues her assault. A group escapes and locks Abigail, revealed to be the vampire Valdez, in a room. They consider using common vampire killing methods like garlic, crosses, silver bullets, and stakes. Except for Joey, the group confronts Abigail, who is dancing with Dean's dead body. Abigail overpowered Sammy, Peter, and Frank in a physical confrontation. Sammy used garlic, Peter's cross was used against him, and Frank's stake attempt failed. The injured trio retreated, and Joey suggested that a tranquilizer, previously effective, might offer a solution. In a dramatic confrontation, a group devises a strategy to recapture Abigail by administering a sedative. They split up to locate her, but chaos ensues when Peter is attacked and tries to lock her away, only for her to break free effortlessly. Abigail subsequently tries to choke Frank, and when Sammy attempts to help, she is bitten. The situation culminates as Peter subdues Abigail, allowing Joey to inject her and render her unconscious. When Abigail awakens in captivity, she reveals that Lambert, who organized their mission, is in league with her father, and that the entire kidnapping scheme was orchestrated for amusement, threatening the group with death. Abigail discloses the real identities of her accomplices. Sammy is actually Jessica, a hacker with a past of stealing from Lazar. Peter is Terrence, a former mob member. Frank is Adam Barnett, an undercover detective who pursued Lazar's gang. And Joey is Ana Lucia, a former medic whose addiction led her to harm a Lazar associate. Abigail has united this group to enact revenge for her father, but she also proposes to spare anyone who assists in her escape. In a tense situation, Peter attempts to rescue someone but gets shot by Joey. Joey takes Peter for medical treatment and instructs Frank to watch over Abigail. Alone, Abigail, the vampire girl, tries to seduce Frank into opening the door, but he remains steadfast. In a twist, she breaks the door herself and attacks Frank, revealing her pretense of being trapped. As the chaos unfolds, Abigail kills Frank but is interrupted before she can go further with her plan. In the story, Joey breaks a window shield, letting sunlight into the room and accidentally burning Abigail's hand. Seizing the moment, Frank and Joey head to the library with others, discovering that a particular window allows them safety from threats until dawn. Sammy then proposes that a power source must be located inside the house, which she can destroy to disable the shields entirely, illustrating their plan to escape or take control of their situation. In the story, a group splits into pairs to search for a power source. Abigail regains control of Sammy, who was previously bitten, and she transforms into a vampire, brutally killing Peter before exhibiting strange behavior and ballet dancing. When Joey and Frank find out about Peter's death, they flee to a library room, taking refuge in sunlight. Sammy pursues them, but is defeated when Joey reflects light on her, causing her to explode. They discover a secret doorway that leads to a control room where Lambert, who has been secretly monitoring them and is also a vampire, captures them easily. In a tense moment, Lambert reveals that he was turned into a vampire by Abigail 2 years ago and has been forced to help her eliminate her father's enemies. Frustrated with his situation, he offers Frank the chance to become a vampire and seize control of Lazar's empire. Excited by the prospect, Frank agrees and receives Lambert's blood to enhance his power. However, after his transformation, Frank betrays Lambert by killing him with a stake, instead of following through with the plan to kill Joey. In a climactic confrontation, Frank attempts to kill Joey while Abigail arrives to fight him. Despite her efforts, Frank easily defeats Abigail, draining her blood and leaving her weak. Joey tries to escape by deactivating the security measures, but is blocked from exiting the mansion. As Frank corners her, he plans to turn her into a vampire under his control, while Abigail warns Joey of their overwhelming odds against Frank's growing strength. The girls unite to confront Frank, but despite their teamwork, they struggle to inflict harm on him. Instead, Frank captures Joey and bites her, believing he now controls her. He gives Joey a stake and orders her to kill Abigail, but she cleverly feigns compliance and instead attacks Frank. Abigail joins the fight, and together they ultimately overpower Frank, driving a stake into his heart, leading to his explosive demise. The story concludes with the girls victorious in their battle against Frank. Abigail, freed from a vampire curse after Frank's death, thanks Joey. Joey is then confronted by Abigail's father, Christophe Lazar, who attempts to kill her for kidnapping Abigail. Abigail intervenes, explaining Joey saved her life, leading Lazar to spare Joey, who escapes the blood-soaked mansion. The end. Subscribe for more movies like this. Thank you for watching.